Hi, my name is Vampyr and let's start this video I've made for Top channel with Mad Max. This is without a doubt one of the best open world games on Steam. More than 90% of positive reviews are here for a reason. You will play as a lone warrior in a savage post-apocalyptic world where cars are the most important thing, the very key to survival. So in Mad Max you will have the same mindset as my neighbor Ginteres, who fixes his car every day, polishes the paint and spends more time with it than with his own wife. But the balance in nature is always around the corner. My other neighbor, Darius, has no car, so he spends time with Ginteres' wife. Everyone is happy. Anyway, in Mad Max you will find an action-packed open world where you must fight against vicious gangs of bandits to stay alive in the wasteland. You want nothing more than to leave the madness behind and find solace in the mythical Plains of Silence. Along the way in your search, you are challenged with treacherous missions as you scavenge the dangerous landscape for supplies to build the ultimate combat vehicle of your dreams. Sea of Thieves 2023 edition. Are you ready to become most notorious pirate in the world, take hostages and pillage ships for incredible wealth? That is great. If so, you can also try this game and treat it like a pirate simulator for your upcoming life of crime. So here you will explore a vast world filled with unspoiled islands and underwater kingdoms, take on adventures to hunt for lost loot, forge a reputation with the trading companies and battle various foes, from phantoms and ocean crawlers to megalodons and the mighty kraken itself. And you know, after you kill the beast, keep in mind that krakens are very tasty with hot potatoes and lemon. Also here, obviously, you can try your hand at fishing, make maps to your own buried treasure, or choose from hundreds of other optional goals and side quests. And the game itself is not a short one. The estimated time to complete all 60 Sea of Thieves achievements is about 1000 hours. Make sure you have a lot of free time before buying. Also, this edition, besides a base copy of Sea of Thieves itself, includes all permanent content added since launch, plus 10,000 gold bonus and many other things. Dying Light 2 – Stay Human. Playing this game while being sober was an act of heroism on my side. You know why? Because this game is scary and it amplified my anxiety levels. They went up through the roof while I was playing it. Speaking about roofs, most of the time you will parkour and climb on them. I played the game for more than 10 hours and in those hours I spent about 5 minutes on the ground. I don't even know if the city itself is beautifully done. There's no need to go down, it's too dangerous.
That's what she said.
And you often bump into a dead end with too high unjumpable walls. And that is a bit inconvenient when you are running from a herd of brain-thirsty zombies and the level of your anxiety is melting your brain down. It's a fun game to try, but do not expect miracles. For me, the deciding factor to leave it and never go back was degrading weapons. You can kill like 10 zombies with one weapon and then it breaks, so you can't have a favorite weapon here. That is really terrible. I made a review video back then and gave it 6 cold beers out of 10. Days Gone. This is an open-world action-adventure game set in a harsh wilderness 2 years after a devastating global pandemic, which made a lot of zombies out of unlucky humans. Here you will take control of a bounty hunter trying to find a reason to live in a land surrounded by death. You will scavenge through abandoned settlements for equipment to craft valuable items and weapons, or take your chances with other survivors. Days Gone has very positive reviews on Steam, so if you like zombies, give it a try. Although, have you ever imagined that somewhere in the universe there's probably a planet of zombies and they are creating horror games about becoming human? And honestly, we actually are pretty terrifying. The Long Dock. When I look outside my window into the vast wilderness of North and Eastern Europe, I realize that I don't need games like that. I live in one of them. Snow, ice and cold rules my land, and only the power of my heater keeps me alive. I have to pay 100 euros per month for it, but, you know, it's worth it. Not dying is great. And for the rest of you who are way more lucky with the climate, I should probably say that this game, despite sometimes being very relaxing, is kinda hard. You will starve, you will be thirsty, you will be cold, and you will be eaten by a bear. Still while being alive, screaming and kicking, you know, with the rest of your body that is still not eaten at the moment. So with this joyful note, I must stress out that this is an amazing survival game with more than 90% of positive reviews on Steam. People are talking that this is an artistic masterpiece and one of the best games of the genre. Death Stranding Director's Cut. After the collapse of civilization, you must journey across a ravaged landscape crawling with dangers to save mankind from the brink of extinction. Game is created by legendary Hideo Kojima, so brace yourself for some weirdness. The famous Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen and the Walking Dead hair model Norman Reedus gave their bodies and voices to the characters, so that alone is probably enough to catch your attention. Also, you can actually take a Dumpty Dump in there. Such nice details. Death Stranding is definitely not a standard game. It really differs from almost everything I have seen. Some salty guys call the game a walking simulator, but you know, in a walking simulator you can't die, and here death is on every corner. It's even in the name of the game. Death Stranding can be too stressful for more sensitive people, so keep in mind that this is not just a happy walk in the park. It's quite dark and gloomy, and it will really test your nerves. Generation Zero. It may not be the best game on this list. It holds only a mostly positive review score on Steam, but the setting and the atmosphere of the game is really worthy of your attention. Honestly, the game was really hyped upon a release, and when people didn't get a masterpiece, bad reviews started to flow. That is a story of many games, and Generation Zero definitely doesn't deserve that, because it may not be a masterpiece, but it's not a bad game as well. Here you will explore alternative Sweden in 1989. One day, Swedes woke up early in the morning and saw that their beloved Sverige is overrun by evil robots. Where did they came from, who made them, nobody knows. Probably evil Norwegians who were envious of Swedish reindeer herds. Everyone knows that casual Swedish deer produces 7 times the amount of milk than Norwegian deer does. Even the males. That is the fact, trust me, every Swede in the comments can confirm that. Darkwood. If you could imagine a Lovecraftian forest with all the horrors in it, Darkwood checks all the marks. It is heavily inspired by, for example, Color Out of Space, and even has some Easter eggs in this field. When I played it, I felt that creators probably took a lot of inspiration from Stephen King as well, who is himself a fan of Lovecraft, and you can feel the influence in many of his novels, starting from madness-infusing Shining to the horrors of the unknown in The Mist. So the Darkwood makes you feel that you are trying to survive in one of these stories. Creepy monsters, inhabitants and ever-changing woods surround your every step. By day you collect resources and explore the area, but by night you must barricade yourself in a safe place because various beasts of horror will try to make you, less alive. So every night is a battle for survival, and every day is another chance to make your fortress stronger. Story is great, the gameplay is great, and the game is simply a must-play. Outward Definitive Edition. This is an open-world survival game with Souls-like combat mechanics. In this edition you will find both DLCs, new weapons, dungeons, and also several life quality improvements. The game has only a mostly positive review score on Steam, but it doesn't do the justice. Most people who are giving a dislike spend 40 to 60 hours in game, and that honestly looks like some kind of masochism. If you don't like the game, just don't play it. Like Warren Buffett once said, always take the easy road and you will get there first. Anyway, Outward is like Skyrim and Dark Souls had a weird hybrid baby, and instead of abortion, this time they decided to keep it. If you like both games, why not? Outward has some problems, but in general it is a nice game. Sonic Frontiers. This is that famous open-world Sonic game you probably have heard about, but saw the price and decided to come back later.
To say it in simple words, this game is still for rich people.
Yeah, anyway, here you will race across 5 massive overworld islands, brimming with dense forest, overflowing waterfalls, and sizzling desert landscapes, each with their own unique action platforming challenges and hidden secrets to uncover. Some people on Steam are saying that you will do yourself a favor if you skip all the story moments and just enjoy the action, and reviews on Steam are very positive, hovering above 90%. Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. The game was released in 2012, but 10 years later it was remastered and sold, you know the drill, as a new game with a price of a new game. Everyone was raging, but now it's not a problem anymore. On various sales you can get it with 60 or 70% discount. The game itself is designed by the Elder Scrolls Oblivion lead designer Ken Ralston, and set in a world with a lore of 10,000 years of fiction created by New York Times bestselling author R.A. Salvatore, or however his name is pronounced. I don't know him, but he's obviously very good. So this is a huge open-world game, although be warned that some players sometimes encounter game-breaking bugs. I literally read that in a comment that was written a few months ago. It's not old news or something, keeping the age of the game in mind. Anyway, the game itself is really good, so you may want to risk it.
Vampyr.
Guess, who are you going to be in this game? A doctor, and I am not even joking. Of course, you will be a vampire here as well. These are difficult times, no one can survive having only one profession. You are not that evil here, but you can choose to kill or rather devour good people and get stronger in the process. You will have to fight against vampire hunters, undead and other supernatural creatures with your own supernatural abilities. People on Steam really enjoy this game's atmosphere, music and voice acting as well. The only thing the game lacks is the freedom. Well, they provide you with many choices, but when you think about it, they don't really matter that much. Ark: Survival Evolved. You are stranded naked, freezing and starving on the shores of a mysterious island called the Ark. You must hunt, harvest resources, craft items, grow crops, research technologies and build shelters to withstand the elements. Use your cunning and resources to kill or tame and breed many different species of dinosaurs. Various Potatosauruses, cold-bearer raptors and other ancient creatures roaming the land. And team up or prey on hundreds of other players to survive and dominate. Speaking about domination, when I was like 10 years old and I was visiting the bathroom in my friend's house, I was trying to pee as loudly as possible to show his family who the real alpha male is. His father never let me in ever again. You know, out of fear. So domination is in my genes. I hope it is in yours as well. Sable. Here you'll embark on a unique and unforgettable journey and guide Sable through her gliding, which is a rite of passage that will take you across vast deserts and mesmerizing landscapes capped with the remains of spaceships and ancient wonders. You'll explore the dunes on your hoverbike, scale monumental ruins and encounter other nomads as you unearth mysteries long forgotten and discover what you are hiding behind your mask. The game is single player only and you can already see that it is a work of art. There is a lot in this world just waiting to be discovered and explored. People on Steam are talking that the game is a little bit similar to the Breath of the Wild. The world is open and the amount of quests here won't let you get bored. Grounded. One of the smallest open-world games. You can only freely move around in your yard of several square meters. The trick is that the game follows the best traditions of famous movie
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
And here you are literally shrunk to the size of an ant. So actually this world is vast, beautiful and dangerous place. You know, almost every predator is bigger than you. Probably a dog peeing on some flower can literally drown you in a way that you wouldn't want to be carved on your tombstone. So here we'll explore, build and survive together in this first-person multiplayer survival adventure. So can you thrive alongside the hordes of giant insects fighting to survive the perils of the backyard? Well, alone probably not, but if you have some friends or a loving mother-in-law, you can play the game together and have lots of fun. The rating on Steam hovers around 90%, and that is always a sign of a good game. And now keep in mind that this is a second part of the video. There is another one with 10 more awesome open world games verified on Steam Deck. You'll find the link in the description, or you can click on the screen right now. Do it. Let's be friends with benefits.